Hi everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ways I Did Not Expect to Use My College Degree. So, for those of you who don't know, Erin and I put on a haunted garage for this Halloween. We finally moved into a space to where we could actually decorate for Halloween, and what initially was supposed to be kind of just this, low budget, fun, little decorated garage moment turned into a whole haunted experience for our trick-or-treaters. So, one of the ways that happened is instead of just using some background sound, I created a whole custom audio for this haunted experience, and that's what I'm going to share with you all today. If you want to just hear the audio, the ambient audio that I created, skip to the end of this video. If you want to hear how I made it, listen right here. So, yeah, a little bit about the experience. The theme was a haunted bog, a haunted swamp that a witch lived in, and this witch sort of would just steal people's souls if they went into this swamp. And then those people would eventually turn into like creepy creatures that aimlessly roamed the swamp and haunted other people. So that's sort of what the story is, and I really wanted to create the audio to enhance the story and to fit a narrative that we were trying to create. So I'm just going to sort of break it down for how it went. And the first part is just kind of this ambient noise that I wanted to create. Originally, this is all I was going to have in here. So just listen. So you can sort of hear it's like a background noise. But I kind of went a little crazy, and 3.5 hours later, we had this audio. So, for instance, I started adding stuff. So some background creaking noises. Here are some like sounds of like birds and creepy sounds. And then last, but certainly not least, because I love frogs, are the frog noises. And just a little way to explain this: dark gray means that the audio is getting louder, and then the light gray means it's getting quieter. And that leads me to my next point. So I didn't want it to just be this ambient noise. I wanted it to tell the story. So I created a bunch of little events that would happen periodically throughout this. So if you go close to a frog, what happens? It usually stops croaking. So that's sort of where the events start to happen, is with actually the frogs. So you can kind of see these things right here get put in, and that's when the frog's noises stops. And this is the first creature that lives in the swamp. I imagined it to be sort of this tree that just walks through the swamp when it's called to patrol the swamp. And this is what the creature sounds like. So you can hear it gets louder as it gets closer, and then goes quieter as it gets quieter. And then I thought, this creature kind of might have a sense of humor, so I gave it a little laugh, which would definitely not be funny if I was walking in that swamp. But the last thing about it was, well, it's walking through a bog, so we should probably hear its footsteps. It's this gross sound, but it worked really well. And then, as you can see, it also gets louder as it gets closer. And then the last thing is, I was sort of thinking, well, maybe this creature kind of is told to patrol by the witch, so maybe she rings a bell, and I thought church bells would work really well for that. So that's sort of the first event that happens. The other events that happen is the sounds of a girl who's singing, and she has also lost her soul to the witch, and she now just sings all night long. So this event happens when the creature has gone away. So they kind of flip-flop back and forth. So this is what she sounds like. Not lying at all. It's got stuck in my head for the last week because I made this about a week before before Halloween. She got stuck in my head, and I was singing this, and it was kind of scary, and I think I scared Erin, but that's okay. The other thing is, and this is the grossest sound in it, she gets out of breath, so I was thinking she's breathing really hard, so I sort of created that sound too with her. And this was super creepy. It was very effective. Maybe she's scared. I don't know. You tell me. So those are sort of the events that happen, and you can kind of see they go back and forth. So this is the creature. This is the girl. And but I was like, that's good, but we can do more. So this is where my own audio came in, and I actually did a little bit of voice acting for this. And the first one that I want to sort of show y'all is my whispering. So controversial or not, I went on ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT, please give me a bunch of nonsense about a witch who lives in a swamp, and then it generated like these long scripts for me to read, and I read 3 different ones, so you can see there's 3 different audios here, and together they sound like this. That's me. I literally just would whisper aggressively into the mic, and then I pitched it up, and then I added a bunch of echoes and reverbs. So like a single one of those sounds like this, not as crazy. Kind of went for like a golem vibes with this from Lotro, not Lotro, just Lord of the Rings, not the online version. But when it all goes together, that's when you hear a bunch of them, and it kind of creates this like scary background. So yeah, my first time ever voice acting, and that was that. So that plays into the full thing. But then the other thing, and this was the part that I was like, I'm very proud of this, was I want there to be a lost little soul that is talking to our people who go through. I felt like doing that would really work, and it was so effective. There was this one, she was adorable. She came up, she was like a little Princess Peach, probably 2nd grader or so, and she was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go in. And then she heard this audio, and she's like, no, I'm out. The cool thing is she actually did come back 30 minutes later, and she would then end up going through like 4 times just for fun. But this audio initially scared her, and she's like, not for me. This is too creepy. This is what this audio sounds like. This is me talking, and I did not use ChatGPT for this, so this is my own thoughts. So yeah, you'll hear this periodically.
Help me. Hey, I'm over here. Help me. Can you see me? I can see you. If you help me, you can stay in the swamp with me.
You can stay here in the swamp with us. Help me. Stay in the swamp with us.
So I'm not an electronic music person at all. I've rarely done electronic music or like anything under this sort of scope, so I'm proud of it. So I explaining this a little bit is I kind of wanted this seemingly innocent girl or creature or child sounding thing to be asking for help, and then eventually its script sort of starts to get a little bit like, I don't trust this thing. I do not trust this thing. So like the big turning point for me is when she says, I can see you, and you hear that change in her voice. And then the next big turning point is she says, you can stay here in the swamp with me. And then the next line is, you can stay here in the swamp with us. And that's where all of this comes into line. So this is the same exact audio as this. All I did was copied and pasted it down to separate files. And what I did is to each of these files, I changed the pitch that I'm speaking at. So if I put this one, for instance, on the solo,
you can stay here in the swamp with us.
it's a little lower,
Help
right?
me. Stay in the swamp with us.
And then if I do this one, you can hear it.
You can stay here in the swamp
It's higher.
with us. Help me. Stay in the swamp with us.
And then we have like this one.
You can stay here in the swamp with
That's my
us.
favorite one.
Help me.
Stay in the swamp with us. And then these ones, you can see I kind of fade them in because as that thing gets more and more scary, you add more layers to it. And yeah, eventually it turned into this like this creature that seemed like an innocent little thing is now just totally being like creepy, and it's a group of things maybe. I don't know.
Help me.
I'm playing it again because I love it.
I'm over here. Help me. Can you see me?
So this is the change.
I can see you. If you help me, you can stay in the swamp with me.
And then
You can stay here in the swamp with us. Help me. Stay in the swamp with us.
yeah, so that's the custom audio that I added to the file. And that was all then condensed into what is known as the Swamp of Shadows. And that's that thing. The other thing, which I'm just really quickly going to go over, was that we had a spider tunnel where you kind of go through cobweb, and I turned it into some directional audio, and I put two speakers where the audio would play louder in this speaker, and then it would transfer to be louder in this speaker, and it would sound like the spider is going back and forth, back and forth. I am really not sure if when I post this video, the directional audio will transfer with it, but if it does, I highly encourage you to wear earbuds, and then you might be able to hear the effect actually just in your ears. So I'm going to play that really quickly so you can kind of hear this spider effect. Giant spiders, by the way, not small spiders. So you get the idea. So those were the two audios, the swamp sounds, which I went through very extensively, and then the spider idea. So now I'm going to pretty much say that was it. The whole thing took me 3.5 hours on a school. No, it was Friday night, but I had just taught school all day. And instead of cleaning my house for a party we had the next day, I chose to do this. So I definitely made great choices, but I thought it was worth it in the end. So yeah, thank you for watching if you've made it this far and thought this was interesting. And I'm now going to just play the audio of the Swamp of Shadows, and you can listen to how it all came together. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Help me. Hey, I'm over here. Help me. Can you see me? I can see you. If you help me, you can stay in the swamp with me.
You can stay here in the swamp with us. Help me. Stay in the swamp with us.
Help me. Hey, I'm over here. Help me. Can you see me? I can see you. If you help me, You can stay in the swamp with me.
You can stay here in the swamp with us. Help me. Stay in the swamp with us.